This year, Olympus announced the 17mm and 45mm f1.2 Pro lenses to give Micro Four Thirds users a trio of high-end glass. Hey, for the 45, you should get similar looking results. Now, one thing that means is they are all very sharp. Beyond the objective quality, they are also subjectively very similar. And that has to do with something Olympus is calling the feathered bokeh look. So basically, sort of feathers out from the center, so you kind of get this gradient effect as you move away from the center of the blur circle to the edges, so it smooths out very nicely. If you are not losing light, although these lenses do have a very prominent vignette when shot wide open, which is actually an effect we rather like. So price is another thing that's consistent across all three, with each coming in at $1,200. Now these are fairly large lenses. f1.2, you're not going to be able to make that too small. So they are kind of designed with the EM1 Mark II in mind. They're very well balanced on this camera, but they may be a little unwieldy on smaller cameras, such as the EM5 or the Pen F, for example. The widest of the three is the 17mm. This has a 35mm, or technically 34mm, full-frame equivalent field of view. It also, as Olympus is quick to point out, has the largest dual aspherical element of any lens, the only company that has the tooling to even make that. And we have to millimeter, maybe a little bit controversial, simply because $1,200 is a lot to ask for a normal focal length lens. Remember, on full-frame cameras, you can pick up the so-called nifty 50s, the 50mm f1.8s, for around a couple $100. So this is a bit high if you're coming at it from that vantage point, but it is a very good lens, certainly much better build quality and arguably better image quality than what you're going to get on one of those cheaper nifty 50s. In fact, the 25 may actually be my personal favorite. I just happen to like that focal length. It's suitable for street photography, but also portraiture, and it's a nice walk-around lens if you only want to bring one lens currently available for Micro Four Thirds cameras. If what you shoot is portraiture, this is the one lenses. But it does make us wonder, how much further can Olympus push the Micro Four Thirds format? Because the only thing holding this glass back is the sensor. We hope, but at least with dynamic range and noise levels. For now, if you are a Micro Four Thirds shooter and you want the best lens to put in front of your camera, well, you know where to